welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, he reeks of fear and strawberry smoothie kid shampoo. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy.
You like that?
I do.
The boys are always good for like a couple lines per episode where I just go, God damn it.
Oh,
and that was the... Do you want to hear the backup?
Yeah, go ahead.
I had, where is it? Currently writing his Reacher spec script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that writer, the worm thing, that was all crazy. Yeah. We will talk about The Boys Season 5, the final season of The Boys, as we've been tracking this basically the whole time I've known you, probably. I don't know when we came in as far as the podcast is concerned, but, you know, definitely a show that we've liked over the years to varying degrees in terms of season effectiveness. But here we are in the final season, just premiered 2 episodes, and we will get into that up top. But we will also cover some finales that just happened recently of shows that we've been tracking as well, with Shrinking, Paradise, and DTF St. Louis. And then we will also check out, maybe do a little bit of updates, just a quick little hitters on some other shows that we're watching, especially, you know, I'm just going to lay the card out there for later, but fucking Rooster, man. I love this show. I know it's like halfway through, so I don't want to do like full judgments, but having a great time. Shout out to our boy Bill Lawrence. He's the best. But let's start up top, Shane, with The Boys Season 5, the final season. As I mentioned, 2 episodes dropped. We are in a very... what I love about this season, I will just say from the straight gut, is that it feels important. It feels like a final season, and I feel like it's taken forever to get here, but I'm happy that we're here because this is straight up like main characters are in peril to start. We got plans. We got escapes. We got important deaths with stakes. We have the virus thing is like that whole last season. It felt like it got dragged out, and now this season it's like the full potential let's go of it all. So what did you think watching this one? Because I will say, and you can hear it in my voice, I think it's already better than all of last season right now in these first 2 episodes.
I'm right there with you. Not that I didn't like last season, but you're right. It felt like they kind of dragged some storylines out, and there were some pacing issues within the episodes. But like right off the rip, like you said, it's like we're thrown into everything because, again, it feels like a final season. Like they have to wrap all this stuff up or at least get close to it. So like I wasn't bored. It was funny. I like where all the characters are at right now. Soldier Boy coming back. That whole thing was funny. I just love that character. I think Jensen Ackles kills that character.
I was about to say you just love Ackles.
I do. But he kills.
We talked about that many times.
Yeah, he kills the character though. It's a great character.
Yes, he does.
You get the A-Train situation, which I wasn't surprised of. I heard some people say, "Oh, what do you think about that?" I'm like, "Well, they kind of like slowed his storyline down last year anyway." So like, the thing that kind of upset me about that is they didn't really take much reflection on that character, even though he's a big part of the show. As I think, and then poured out a little bit of wine for him up the staircase and.
And then they had his funeral and everything else.
But that was for show. That was a dog and pony show for the funeral.
It was, but what I will say about it, because you brought it up, I think part of the thing that I also really like about this is that was a death with stakes because I felt it.
Yeah.
And I think the show feels it, even if they didn't do the best job maybe over the last little bit about his arc. But I think there's enough there to where he was with the 7. We saw his fall in reclamation. We know the pain he's on the run. His family's on the run. All those things are well laid out to where at least when he dies, it's impactful. And I felt it. I actually felt really bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was indifferent. Like, I like the character. I like his arc because obviously, like, it's a total closed loop on the first scene we see him in with Huey's girlfriend. Like, he did the opposite this time and paid for it.
Right.
And then at the end, he stood up to Homelander, and like, I did like it. I'm not shocked it happened so soon. That's why I didn't think they were going to kill Soldier Boy off that easy either. They're not going to have like two major
Mm,
deaths like that in the same episode.
right.
Um, of course, plus they got to keep that whole virus thing going a little bit. It can't be that easy. But
Yeah.
I like the little cameos with the young superheroes they had there, like the Catwoman ripoff and
Yeah, basically like the Instagram star
yeah,
version
yeah.
of superheroes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how they did mention Gen V and how they, that group is doing, and they did mention that.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, and this is off topic. Well, not off topic, but like it doesn't have anything to show. But Starlight, I don't know, like I can't help it. Like she just looks so different. I know that's not basis of the show, but I don't know what's going on there. It's
Yeah, I
almost
don't know what's
distracting to a
purposeful or
point,
not.
right? It's almost
Yeah.
distracting to a point. Um,
It happens with some of these shows.
I
I feel like that
know.
happened in another show I watched where I was like, good God. You
Yeah,
can
I
like
like Frenchie and Kamiko. I like the fact
see
she's
it.
talking now. That's funny.
I love
Love
that.
it.
I
Yep.
absolutely love it.
So
Yep.
I didn't have a disappointing moment within the first two episodes, to be honest with you. And I saw
Yeah.
the
Same.
preview for the third episode. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, can we go? Can we
I
just
have
drop?
not.
Oh
So
my God,
yeah.
can we just drop the season now? Like,
Excellent. I'm all about it. Well, listen, man, I just want to one, obviously people are slowly gathering like spoilers for all these shows
yeah,
that I guess we're gonna watch. Hopefully you guys have watched and are looking for our insights and opinions on these finales and recaps and premieres and everything else. So this one, man, I feel like we're in such a good place because Huey, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie are all in a Vought internment camp to start. They're set for execution, so you already have like a bait situation for bringing Starlight and Butcher. Like I felt like the last few seasons were so clouded of like who's where, and like everybody's spread out and everybody's either mad or somebody's mad, and you got Queen Maeve and all these other people involved like that are no longer around. So it kind of we're now compressed to like what really matters storyline wise and character wise for the most part. So I feel like we're on a real good streamline. And then of course we get right to the action and a lot of jokes, and the typical stuff. Like, did I need the guy who, it's his dick is like attacking people the whole time in the internment camp? Whatever. It's the boys. That's exactly what you get
yeah,
when it comes to this. So yeah, of course. But then it sets you up for, like I said, the Reacher spec script was funny thing. The the reeking of fear and strawberry smoothie kid shampoo made me laugh. And Homelander getting a kick out of learning Mother's Milk's
yeah,
nickname
yeah,
was fucking great. Absolutely great. And then even things like the people they added, which they didn't add a lot because we have so much already, but David Diggs as the preacher, I loved it.
yeah,
I thought he was great. He's a perfect version for that. They didn't do too much. They didn't do too little. I thought that it was a nice addition, and especially when it comes to having A-Train's funeral and the whole service and all that. So I don't know. I got it. I had a good time. Guy getting choked out by his own giant dick is always entertaining, and this is what the boys are.
yeah.
So I am all the way in at this point. So tip me off here, sir. I know you probably have more to say, but episode 3, what did it show you, and why are you so excited?
Well, it shows Homelander like killing somebody, and yeah,
Okay.
and you bring Esposito back. He's back talking to
Okay.
Butcher and them, but then you get just Homelander wailing on somebody.
Well, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to watch the preview for episode 3. That sounds great. Any last thoughts before we move on to some of these finales and wrap ups that we had for anything else with the boys?
Yeah, just real quick. The Deep always makes me laugh. I like just everything he's
I
doing
was
and
swimming
selling.
when
Yeah,
he pissed his pants.
yeah. And
Made me
he's
laugh.
hawking all the whatever he's hawking, and I just wonder if we'll get some kind of redemption story arc with him too, or is he always going to be a stay afraid and coward? And
Yeah.
is that the real Black Noir?
Yeah, because Noir's gone again, and he keeps going away. So either there's something else going on with him, or it's back to the old one. I forgot what happened originally, why they replaced him.
Well, because Homelander killed the original one.
Right. I just didn't remember how, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
he
okay.
just he felt Black Noir betrayed him, and he ripped out his just kind of tore him apart. So
Yeah.
You know,
Of course,
there's
we know
speculation
nothing
that
about him, so
correct.
he could come back to life for all I know.
Right. There's speculation that this could be like someone hidden in the Black Noir that may play a role deeper into
Oh,
the show.
excellent. That
Just
would be
throwing it
fun
out
too.
there.
Absolutely. Well, excellent, man. Like I said, great start. I'm very anxious to get more from this season. I think, like I said, because it's so streamlined and there's a lot of good stuff here left to go with a lot of characters that we like. I'm really hoping they land the plane well on this one. I can't see a world where it would get too out of bounds, but this is what the boys do. So I
Yes.
am hyped, but I am willing to ride it out. I will say, and as a complete aside, we've covered TV stuff where I go, I don't know if I'm into this first episode, and then like eventually I just die off. It's a great sign that these first two episodes are engaging and that I want to return so quickly to get back to episode 3. So I am all
Absolutely.
in on that. Let's talk about some finales, some seasons that wrapped up, some shows that we really like. And of course, I'm going to lead with a show that you and I talk off air quite frequently with Glow and on this podcast as well. Let's talk about Shrinking, because they just had their season finale, season 3 finale, if I'm not mistaken. I've watched this twice. It's such, it's a season that I would almost just like, if I just want to, I could just go back and I'll rewatch the whole season just for enjoyment. It's one of those shows. It's one of those seasons. I thought it was so well balanced between the new storylines that they brought in with Sherry Cola playing a patient of Jessica Williams' character, or the Colby Smulders thing that I'm glad they kind of have stuck with here and keeps persisting as a love interest on the show, and even getting more Damon Wayans Jr. and how that's evolving in terms of that relationship. I just love overall, Shane, that this is an overarching theme of moving past things, kind of almost really focusing most of the drama on Jason Segel again, which I think this show showed his progress, but now shows what happens when maybe the support system starts to crumble and who's going to step up and how he's going to react, and seeing his daughter go to college. So I don't know, man. It evoked so many feelings over so many episodes that I just have really engaged hard with this particular season. How about you?
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel not that the second season was bad at all because it was great.
No,
But this season, I rocked with this season a little bit more than the prior season.
correct.
Um,
Yeah,
because again, you get a nice evolution of all the minor characters where Sean ends up, and it's like they're all grown and just like in so many ways and working past their issues, and Jimmy's still kind of stuck in his
yeah,
own way. Even with his dad, like that was great, great appearance by Jeff Daniels, by the way, playing his father. It's like perfect
really
casting,
good.
like
Yeah,
perfect
I forgot to
casting.
mention that as well with new
Yeah, I
people.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, fantastic. So I like that whole story arc, and then his hidden, him blasting out Harrison Ford in that whole conversation, him finally, because I kind of felt that coming, like,
totally.
yeah, especially when Harrison Ford would keep like giving those wise ass comments to him,
Yeah.
and I figured it was going to boil over at some point, and it did. So
Well, once
I
he
will admit,
focused the business with Jessica Williams too, I
yes,
think that brought up things where it was like, oh, okay, I get it, but that's
yeah.
interesting.
But this is without a doubt the best show on television right now because it evokes so many emotions, and we've
Yeah.
discussed it. It makes you laugh and cry in the same episode. Like
Incredibly balanced.
yeah, balanced. Every character gets its shine. All the minor characters get their shine. And as
Totally.
I'm watching this finale, to me, it almost worked as if, let's say, we weren't getting a season 4.
Yeah.
I feel like the way they wrapped it up would have worked for a season and series finale. Like,
I
to be
agree.
honest with you, yeah, because the way Harrison Ford left it and Jimmy's with Sophie, what we think, which, by the
Yeah.
way, it was brought to my attention that that scene irritated somebody because she said if
Ooh.
that happened in real life, Sophie would never show up to brunch to meet Jimmy again after
I
always
did
being
feel it
second
was
fiddle.
pretty easy that there must have been another conversation we didn't see with how Paul got her there.
Right,
That's how I took it, because why else would she just be so easy to get there and all smiles and whatever? That's
right.
how I took it. I don't think he just went like, "Hey, this is Jason Segel. How are you?" And just like, asked to go. Like, it didn't impersonate Jimmy or try to do any kind of clever, like, you won a prize. It seemed genuine, like she was there because Paul convinced her to be there. So that's why I liked about that.
Yeah, everything wrapped up well in my book, and it was a very enjoyable season. Now, I was thinking about season 4 because they did. This isn't like a spoiler, but they did announce like all the cast is coming back for season 4.
Yes.
So, what do you think? What do you think the time jump's going to be? Because you got next door neighbors going to Spain. You got the couple going to Denver, no, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Off to college, off to Connecticut. So there's got to be. We're gonna have to like fast forward a little bit in time here.
I think can't be too far. I'm thinking probably end of the year of college year 1.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Where maybe they're like checking to see if he's still in the relationship, how that's going. She's now maybe returning to come back for the summer, and then all those feelings, they're back from Barcelona. To say it in the way they keep doing it. Check in on Sean's progress. The baby gets bigger, yada, yada, yada. So I'm thinking, probably like a 6 to 9 month version of that is my imagination.
When we do our mid-year shows, it's safe to say when we do our mid-year report card, is this both going to be our number 1? Can we just get that out of the way? I mean, can we get that out of the way?
I just wonder, because I've on this podcast spoke a lot of praises for some other shows. I think what separates, and I probably said this before too, is just how this particular show gets to me in an emotional way on the vibe. And I think that if you're talking, Night of the Seven Kingdoms or some of these other shows that we've really enjoyed, I'm loving Rooster right now, and it's only halfway through. I don't know if any, like, I would say Shrinking has to be right there. And I mean, we're already into April, so we got a couple of months here, but yeah, I think it would be pretty safe company.
Because we might have to do, hey, these are top 5 shows minus Shrinking.
Not Shrinking. Yeah.
Right.
Or lead with one and then backtrack. Yeah. Just be like, let's just get this out of the way. Because anyone who listens to our podcast knows exactly what's happening right now. But yeah, no, it is a pretty fair assumption. Absolutely. Right. At this point, for sure.
Yeah.
But I know you really like another show that just wrapped up as well here, Sir. Paradise, a show that I have not gone into. And out here on these streets, and by streets, I mean other podcasts I listen to, and some critical responses I've seen. This one seems to be kind of split, or maybe like early on people weren't in, and then maybe it got better as it went along. What did you feel about Paradise season 2?
Oh, good question. And I will not spoil this. This will be spoiler free for people who haven't caught up or watched it yet. It took me the first like 2 episodes to kind of really start sinking my teeth into Paradise season 2, because now we're outside of the dome. We're outside, and Sterling Brown is trying to reach his wife, but along the way, he's at different pit stops and interacts with new characters you get introduced to. One throws a big plot point into him going forward. So like it was strange. Like the first episode was like Paradise, Graceland. Then it was like Paradise, Denver. It's like they had little subtitles underneath the episode.
Right.
I really liked it. It was a slower burn up until like episode 4.
Yeah.
And then like the last 3 episodes kind of roll back around as you get more interaction with back into the dome and the politics that are going on there, and what's going on with Sinatra and how she's recovering. You get that psychopath Jane who just like is on a killing rampage from last season, and she's unhinged. And it really comes together as it progresses, and it leaves it in a nice spot. So I really enjoyed it. I get why people really were maybe slow to warm or maybe detach themselves from this season because of the first couple episodes being so slow paced and not figure out why is this person going to be relevant, and you find out later why they're irrelevant. So a lot of character stories in this season that you didn't get from season 1 per se. So I enjoyed it. I liked the background on his wife and where she was at and the group that she was in. Like I got on board with all of that. So good stuff. Still strong. It probably isn't as strong as season one, though, to be honest with you. But
That's a
still
hard feat to go climb out of, especially a show that kind of is a surprise.
Came
Especially
out of
like
nowhere,
that.
really, right?
Yeah.
And everyone latched down to. So I would say people just give it to at least the third, fourth episode before you pull the ripcord on it, because to me it ends in just a great way, and it goes into more sci-fi than I was ready for. But it makes sense, and I'm really kind of digging it in a weird way. So I'm anxious to see where they're going to go with season 3, and I can't see this storyline going past the third season. In my eyes, I feel like they're at the point where next season should wrap everything up.
Kind of feeling like some other popular shows that maybe went past their mark a little bit, like if Lost was only 3 seasons, or if, I'm trying to think of other popular puzzle box. When this season came through and I felt like it had maybe some struggles, I immediately thought of like Severance season 2, where it was like Severance was this big phenomenon, a surprise hit for Apple, and then bam, we have this season that took forever to do. At least Paradise had a quick turnaround, which probably helped them a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And now especially if they can turn around and get a season 3 quickly, and then kind of this show that kind of came, dominated, and left would be pretty outstanding for that show.
And
but
still
unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
No, I can say, and before I forget, I have to mention the soundtrack is still kick-ass. Still a very kick-ass
I know
soundtrack.
You like that a lot in season 1.
Yep.
It wasn't that like a lot of 90s hits and stuff, like a
90s and 80s, like covers
right,
to the original song, and they all worked. And so it was very integral to the story too. So dug it. Yeah, and sorry I cut you off when you were talking about Hulu.
No, I just know, outside of their FX stuff, which this is not, right? This is straight Hulu original.
Straight Hulu.
I feel like they don't have a lot of hits.
They don't.
Like, at least current hits. They've had it, and again, the FX stuff is huge for them, so I don't want to dismiss that out of hand. But, I know they have a new show, what is it, The Testaments or whatever it is, where it's kind of like an offshoot of Handmaid's Tale, or at least it's the same author, same universe kind of a thing. But Handmaid's Tale is a show that was like huge for them. But even that didn't have like a lot of like, oh, well, we also have this going on. Like, if it's not FX, I can't think of the last one besides Handmaid's Tale that was like a big hit. Am I missing something?
That's all I could think of right now. Handmaid's Tale is everywhere. And to me, that show kind of like peaked. And then I didn't hear as many people talk about like as that show was wrapping up either. Like,
they have their loyal followers who went all the way through and were excited to. It felt almost like, I don't want to compare side to side with that, but it kind of felt boysish, where like we were all like, whoa, and like, yeah, this is like really speaking my language, and look, it's like facing reality and all these things and having these big themes. And then like it kind of had lesser success a little in the back end, and now it's like, oh, the finale, let's all gear up again and then watch it end. So I think it has a little bit of that going on. All right. Well, I'm going to keep struggling. So let's let's move on to the last finale, at least, of what we have on the docket here with DTF St. Louis. This is an HBO show that we've kind of talked about a little bit, especially when it premiered. This is again another stacked cast of people that we like: David Harbour, Jason Bateman, Linda Cardellini, Richard Jenkins, amongst others. And here's what I'll say as far as this show is concerned. The biggest compliment I can give it is no matter how dark or strange it got, it still had me on the hook for wanting to know what the reveal is and how this actually went through. So I think it did a well enough job of being a crime story in that traditional, almost, behind the scenes murder investigation kind of way, while also showing truly how bizarre and strangely sweet this show is, especially with a friendship at the heart of this, of just two guys who are middle-aged, lonely, searching for meaning, searching for friendship, searching for love, searching for connection. and in all the weird kind of strange ways, but also in this like traditionally nice friendship in a way too. So there's so many quirks with this show. This show is unbound in its quirkiness, but it's one of those shows that there's probably no middle person. You either really like it or you hate it, I would imagine. And I was on more the like side. I feel like I keep coming back to it, but you know, there was no like episode where I was just like, I'm not into this on any level. How'd you feel about it?
I agree. This show threw me for a lot of curveballs, only because when you go into a show called DTF St. Louis, I thought we were going to see freaky, just weird stuff and
100%
orgies and gangbangs and who knows, right?
Yeah.
So like, it was
this
kind
Californication? Is this, you know?
Yeah, all over the place. But yeah, at the heart of it, like you said, it's just about friendship and self-love and trying to find connections with people. And like, I thought David Harbour kind of stole this series. Like, I'll
absolutely.
It's probably to me, this is probably the best thing he's been in, like acting wise, and just like someone you just sympathize with, like throughout the entire show.
Totally.
Because he just wants to love himself, and he tries, and it's just like he's just has this an innate ability to just really help people out and just love people, like Jason Bateman's pointed out to him several times, like him French Kiss and Skarsgård in front of the roller rink. He did that just to make him feel good. Like, who does that? Like, and he was genuine with this character. He had no hidden agendas. He had no this. And I like how it misdirects you from the Linda Cardinelli's character, who, by the way, that hotel scene, that will live forever in my head. But let's move on from that.
I was going to say which one, because like,
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well,
the original, she's in white, whatever. Anyway, moving forward,
she's incredible. She's really good in this show too, by the way. I don't want to undersell, but like, I don't know what her skincare routine or whatever she's doing, hyperbaric chamber, something she's got going on where she is ageless, it feels like. So yeah,
but just the moments when him and Bateman ride their bikes and they break out to like the Beastie Boys-esque kind of thunder whatever, was so weird. And there's so many awkward moments, but you rock with this show. I'm not going to say I love it, but I rocked with it just because of the character of Harbour and Bateman, more so David Harbour. Like I said, he was just fantastic in the show. And I don't know how I feel about the ending. It makes sense, right? But I felt like it was almost anticlimactic when we found out exactly what happened with the son and all that kind of stuff. But it makes sense where Bateman comes involved, where he's trying to make him feel something, you know, and he realizes, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And he breaks down in there like, so, and at the end he loses everything, really. And it's just so as misdirected as the show was in my head when I started this journey, I'm glad I finished it. And it's a great character study and just about, again, finding friendship and finding who you are and self-love. And it was a really good message in a twisted way. And I love Richard Jenkins' character when they're sitting on the porch and he's talking about
so what's good.
Yeah, he's like, they're going over all the initials, and he's like, so is it the kicker or the nut guy? Like, I was just like dying.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you got DTF, BBC, BBC. Like, you kept going through all the porn acronyms. And I'm like, okay, man. Jeez.
Yeah. But a good murder mystery show in the heart of just friendship, relations and all that stuff. So I liked it. I didn't love it. Won't make my top 5, but I really did enjoy the ride.
Yeah, this one's for the weirdos, and I am here for it because I am one. So, like I said, it was just always engaging. And as far as the ending is concerned, especially when you kind of like, they really pulled at every string, it felt like, to where it's like, oh, it's this person from the DTF thing, or it's the wife, or it's the friends, or it's the all the different permutations. I really felt like they went down all the avenues to where if something came out of left field, I would feel that would also be like either worse or disingenuous or wrong in some way. So I think this is as close as you're going to get. I just like, I know I mentioned it with the A-Train thing and maybe you weren't on the same wavelength. As it goes on, I really felt worse that Harbour is the casualty here, because
I did. It makes you feel for him even more.
Yeah. And because I think the thing that hurt the most wasn't even the Bateman thing. I think as a dad, I got really invested in how he was really turning that kid around. That's like his stepson or whatever it is. And it just really hurt to see that that's how that kind of wrapped up and where that went, because man, it was doing wonders for that kid. That kid was like completely turned around, with self-confidence. He like, they bonded so hard, all those like fun like playground things, the stupid like the inside conversations they had, like that again, it got better and better as the thing went along. So you just feel so horrible that he just, the shame took him out in the end, I guess. So it's really hard to take, and again, don't want to spoil this one too hard because the whole point of it is to go. But I think just for a show that is, again, 7 episodes, it's it is a crime thing, but it has so much more to it, and heart and sweetness as much as the strange and the dark. But yeah, I think if you go into this show and you haven't watched this yet or anything, it's just go in as blind as you can and just expect the unexpected, and not in like a jump scare or a cliffhanger kind of a way. This show's just batshit, but
it's
in
batshit.
these very interesting, different ways that I don't think I've ever seen on a show, even HBO wise.
Right. I'll tell you what made me laugh out loud, really, or laughing to myself a minute ago, was there's so many David Harbour random scenes that are so fucking funny. Like the scene that'll always stick out in my head is that random pummel horse in the playground.
Yes.
Where he just, you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
And as he's going, I'm like, it was so random and so strange and so perfect for that character. Is burned in my memory banks, man. Like that is just the weird, wacky scenes you get with him that are just funny and heartfelt. Like I didn't expect that.
And there's a life lesson to it. It literally is everything that show is that scene.
Yeah. So great. So great.
I agree. I'm glad. So again, everything here is good. So this is a wonderful episode to where we can kind of all just wrap our arms around some things and give a good recommendation to a lot of it. We can kind of just, do a little, maybe just little quick hitters here at the end. I want to give a shout. I know you're not caught up and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Rooster, as I mentioned up top, right up there. Like this is classic Bill Lawrence where I care about every character. Again, it's so much fun, but it's got a lot of heart. And again, I think a lot of these shows, maybe you're just, if somebody wanted to zoom out on here and be like, of course we're talking about these shows to middle-aged white guys or whatever, because, we got Steve Carell at the focal point here. We got Jason Segel on the other one where it's like middle-aged guys struggling, DTF St. Louis, 2 middle-aged guys struggling, We're a little coded here. I get it. I totally get it. We're marks for this whole thing. And then The Boys, because it's our Arrested Development type show and superheroes and everything else. We need those too. So we need our dick jokes. So we get them from anywhere we go. However, Rooster, I think, is, again, it was one of those shows, especially because we mentioned Bill Lawrence has multiple shows going on. I thought this one was going to be the one where I was like, I'll probably enjoy having another one of those Bill Lawrence shows around, but is this too much? Is he spread too thin? Something's got to fall between the cracks. And this show got better and better as it's gone along. And I just love being in this world. I love being on this campus. I love this staff. I think it's brought back enough people that we like from, the Bill Lawrence OGs, with the Dean being, the Dr. Cox from Scrubs. They also had the attachment and everything else, which, by the way, that show's still going and very good too, if we want to toss that in, the resurgence of Scrubs. But this show, man, the father-son relationship, bringing in the ex-wife, bringing in the new relationships, bringing in the partying with the college students, not knowing what you're doing, kind of making mistakes along the way while still trying to bring his confidence back as a guy who lost a lot with his ex-wife and everything. So I've been really enjoying this one.
Yeah, I'm one episode behind you, but I feel you. I felt like as the episodes clicked along, it got better and better. For me, the best episode was the party one with the college and pig tits and all that stuff. That I just kept just laughing out loud. But I like Steve Carell in this role. He fits the Lawrence world very well.
100%.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but think today, as much as I'm enjoying this show, though, and this isn't a bad thing, by the way, but I'm like, you got Scrubs going on right now. Shrinking's just wrapped up, and then you had Ted Lasso, right? So I'm like,
right.
Where would I put Rooster in that pantheon of shows? Like, to me, like Scrubs came back strong. Like, it's strong. And
it's really good.
I'm like, wow. I don't want to say I'll put this like last, but like it's not a bad thing. It's like you got 4 great shows or really solid shows.
A lot of home runs here. Yeah.
Now again, we still got episodes left, so I don't want to like before I make my final judgment. But like you said, I am rocking with the show right now. It is just really good right now. So,
and if people are in the same boat as you, sir, and haven't caught up with the one from just last night, we're recording on a Monday, so the Sunday double dip with DTF, and I need a new Sunday night thing now, man. DTF and Rooster was my Sunday night. But I would say, it's the most consistent show. Like it's right up there now that Shrinking is gone. It's perfect that we're going to get the back half without Shrinking in there to really kind of just fall in love. But it's a first season, so I'm not going to go too crazy on it. But I will say, if you didn't see this Sunday and you haven't yet, there's a reveal at the end of that episode that I think is going to really mess with the trajectory going forward. And I'm really invested as to how and why. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, I also forgot that, Jamie Tart is also in this show as well. So, definitely adding more of the Bill Lawrence extended universe. And yeah, I think this show just can grow and grow. I think it's limitless because once it's already a good hang, I think there's so much you can do. And it's like chock full of ideas because of being on the college campus stuff. So you're dealing with younger people issues, his middle-age issues, father-daughter, like our ex-partner stuff all over the place. There's so much to work with. I think this show just has legs where, this is not just going to be, great. We got another, Bill Orange show for a minute and then it's gone. I think this has multiple season potential. It's almost, it feels like that Shrinking feeling when it first started of like, man, they did all this in that first season. You're like, where's it going to go? And then you just realize, well, but we love everybody. We just want to see where everybody's going. And you just, as long as you're patient with these characters and taking the small bites and really digging into as a character study and really having the love that we want for these characters and the grace and enough drama and laughs to keep going. That's what his shows are. And I think that this is just another one of those. So where it ranks, I probably couldn't tell. I'd probably put it ahead of the Scrubs reboot, even though I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Shrinking is like, I can't. But this is right there. Like, it's so enjoyable. And it's going to look really weird. Like you were already saying, like, if we're putting Shrinking #1 in Penn, it's going to be weird that it might be just, well, it's Bill Lawrence and then it's everybody else. So should we just toss his stuff to the side and then have a top 5? But we'll find out more about that when we get to June, I guess, and really looking back at this year. But did you want to talk your Apple double dip here as well? Your Friends and Neighbors and Monarch and some of these other shows that you're digging into still?
Yeah, I'll touch on your Friends and Neighbors because it just kicked off 2 weeks ago. They had their season premiere. There's only two episodes that have been out so far. I will say I like where it's going, but the first episode is a slow start to the season because you get the aftermath of just everything that happened in season 1. Right. So they do kind of fast forward a little bit in the future. So like Olivia Munn's character is dealing with the fallout of trying to set up John Hamm for murder. So she's kind of like outed in that community and trying to work her way back in. But the big addition of the series, which they're starting to kind of roll the wheels on, is James Marsden, our guy. Shows up. just swinging it, laying it out there, and it's causing a lot of just commotion at the moment. So
Yeah.
his addition is like the big add to the season. So now he's finally getting interaction with John Hamm's character. The way they left episode 2, you're like, oh shit, all right, let's go.
Right.
So yeah, that show is going to keep rolling along. It's still just epic, classic John Hamm, and just that whole character is great. So yeah, thumbs up on season 2 so far. Monarch, quickly, you only got 1 or 2 episodes left. I, of course, am a big MonsterVerse fan.
Right.
This season got more into human character stories of family and just fallout and just interactions and what they're doing, more so than right now the Titans. The Titans are still there,
right?
But they've taken a back seat to like the Kurt Russell character and all that. So I like it. But it's a very slow burn. With sometimes you don't even see a Titan in an episode, and I'm okay with that. So thumbs up on the Monarch so far. With your Apple TV just rolling along, baby.
I know. And we talked about what Margot's got money troubles or whatever it's called next week. And I know they have more down the pike. I think they have a show. It's Handmaid's Tale, Mad Men. What's her name?
Oh, Elizabeth
Moss.
Moss, yep.
So Elizabeth Moss, I think, has a show with them before the month is out, or it's on now.
It's
or
on
something.
Right now. Kate Mara and
yes,
yeah,
right.
I haven't gotten into that show
Kerry
yet.
Washington the third?
It is Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
See, we pulled it together.
Yeah, all right, we got it. Yeah,
we got it.
If we could get a title, we'd be amazing. But yeah, it's another Apple. Just we have all the stars in the world and all the money, and we just threw together another show. So that's on there. I know they have a bunch of things still have to go, and as we keep noting, they still have Ted Lasso to come at some point later on this year. So it's just keeps on going. Well, I was gonna say, like the Pit, I know you got going on. That's almost near its end. So there's a bunch of still really good TV out there, even though we will be sad to see, 3 really good shows, have their finales, and we'll have to wait to see when we can get more of it down the line. But like you said, at least with Shrinking, I was very excited to send you that everybody's kind of re-signed for season 4 and that it's already renewed. So I'm very excited for that. I would imagine DTF St. Louis is done. That's probably a one and done. It has to be a one and done. Paradise, you said, absolutely needs a third and should maybe bow out after 3 is your feeling. So we'll see. And then we are going to ride The Boys final season. We will check in with that as this goes along as well. On a personal note, I think it's peace out for Daredevil. You are going to need to literally drag my ass back to be like, listen, it finally clicked in. This is why you need to come back. I'll even you might even have to tell me the recaps of episodes to be like, listen, it's good now. It's episode 5, but listen, screw those other episodes. Here's what's going on. Just watch a recap and go from there. You might have to, dude, because I watched 20 minutes of episode 2 and I was like, I don't know why I'm here.
Oh, man, you're trying to get my blood pressure up right before we leave, right? Is that what you're supposed to do? That's
it's a TV update, baby. That's my update. I might be out.
Well, and I don't blame you for it. But I will say that the episode everyone's talking about is episode 4 that just like went off because you get where Bullseye's at, and the whole first scene is with Bullseye. And
they took that long to get to Bullseye?
Like full out. The first scene is like, it's a great scene. It's like his new morning routine. You got Billy Joel on the background. He's trying to be a nice neighbor. And then he goes rampant in a diner, like just going all Bullseye. Like it's a great scene. It gets a little wonky with Kingpin in the boxing match at the end, but there's a major event that happens in that last 5 minutes of that episode that's going to cause a spiral into just what's going to happen. Is it perfect? No, but that is the pinnacle episode so far, was episode 4.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll just skip ahead. Maybe I'll be that guy.
And honestly, you won't be lost.
YouTube
If you skip right to episode 4, you won't be lost.
See, but that's the problem with this show. Anyway, we will talk more on that at another TV check-in probably sometime soon. But excellent job as always, sir. I didn't look ahead to see what's next week. I mean, we have
Lee Cronin's The Mummy comes out this week.
Yeah, I
which
think
we're
the
both on
trailer
the fence,
looks
and
alright,
I
but I'm
think
like,
we're both like pass. But since
yeah,
I have
well,
time, I'll probably see it.
yeah, we have Netflix. They had Thrash last week, which you and I need to discuss at some point. I have my review out for what's on Netflix.com for that. They have Roommates this week. It's a straight up studio comedy with, I think, Sandler's kid is the Sonny, I want to say, is the lead in that one. There's a bunch of other comedy people that we like in that movie, but it's weird that I didn't see that very well promoted, and they're skipping a lot of stuff. So I'm very dubious of whether that will work for me. But that'll be my review this week. That comes out on Friday. Then there's Apex from Netflix the week after. So they're starting to hit a little bit of a groove of like actually just putting stuff out week after week. So we shall see on that. But yeah, as far as the movie theater, I think I want to say Soderbergh's movie.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and Mother Mary is also this week. So there's a few things still going. So you'll have to come back next week to see how we landed of where what we want to talk about and where this is all going to go, because it's a very weird market until we get to the following week where you and I were talking off mic about, is it 80s weekend? Because we'll have Michael Jackson, we'll have the Stranger Things 85, the animated series comes out, and there's a Hulk Hogan doc on Netflix. So it just feels like we might be taking a trip back in time in a couple of weeks. But for right now, subscribe, tell a friend, follow us on the socials at Recent Act Pod. You never know when there's going to be another Shane solo mission popping up potentially in between. So check out the old one of those if you're on YouTube and or our socials. On Instagram, you can check those out. And be sure to come back next week for more recent activity.